So it's finally here. How's the team looking as you get into the game?
I like our progress over the first 35 practices. One close scrimmage exhibition game last week. I thought that was really useful. Get the guys in the uniforms out there and able to come up with some things that we've been stressing in practice that showed up in the game as well. So I like where we're at right now, but we got a long way to go, and it'll be the second time tomorrow night that all the guys that are playing are in uniform and playing together. And that's, I say it time and time again, that's our biggest challenge. I like our guys' work ethic. I like the attitude they come with every day in practice. I like the intensity that we play with. But, coming together, playing connected both offensively and defensively is going to take some time. And what you hope is that we're playing hard enough where it compensates for some of that fluidness and cohesiveness that you want to play on both ends of the court with.
Does it feel like, now that the guys, who's going to be on the court this year, there's no uncertainty left, does that help you think, like you love their energy, but the mindset, you think, okay, we know we're going to be playing in this game, in this game, in this game. Does that help you think for these guys?
It does, and still, there's ebbs and flows to a season in terms of playing groups, who's playing better, who's playing more minutes. And one of the things, we do have some depth, but guys have to realize that you have to perform every day in practice in order to get out there in the game, and then you have to perform well in the game to solidify your role. And so that also, through these first 10, 13 non-conference games, has to be not only earned, but then also not just in the games, but also every day in practice. And I think, again, that makes the day in and day out work more competitive, which only gets everybody better. And there has to be a patience amongst the coaches and amongst the players in those type of situations.
How much of a benefit is it getting to open up at home in front of your home fans in your own place?
Well, you always want to open up at home, and I think there's a little bit of an excitement heading into this season, and now we need to do our part and play well in our home games. But it's great to open up the Yingling Center with our first home game. I was out on campus today with some of our players, with the students. We're going to do that tomorrow. Try to get some excitement amongst the students as well. I've been to every football game, and the student section has been unbelievable. I mean, I sit right to the left of the student section, and sometimes they start flowing into our area as well, and their energy has obviously helped quite a bit in those games. So I'm hoping that we get some carryover into the basketball as well.
When you think about the leadership on this team, do you like the guys being able to have their voice? I know we've talked about this before. The voices, are they picking up a little bit more, you think, as the 35 practices have gone on?
Yeah, they are. And LaQuincy and TJ were voted captains by our team, which I think is a great honor. But at the same time, we talk about everybody has to take part in the leadership, and at different times in practices and games and different things like that. But we do have a group that's very committed to doing things the right way and trying to learn how we do things on a daily basis. And when you do that, if you're doing that, you get to hold other people accountable. But it's hard to lead unless you're managing yourself. And that's one of, again, no one being in the program we have some seniors, but they're not seniors to us, and we have some upperclassmen, but they're not upperclassmen to us. David Collins and Justin Brown have played the most minutes in our program. They haven't played a game in their sophomore year yet. So those are challenges, but I think we got good enough guys, and we got guys driven enough where the leadership void, because you don't have someone who started for you for 3 years and knows everything about the program inside and out. You got guys working on that and trying, and that's the first step for what we need to get done.
Coach, can you talk about Mayan? And he just got the waiver approved, and he just came off like the concussion protocol. How's he looked since then?
Good, but he's behind a little bit. He wasn't with us this summer in terms of workouts and/or classes. And then in the preseason, because we had everybody was new. not sure if he was going to get the waiver or not. You know, we worked him in, but not nearly as much as, you know, maybe some other guys. And then with the concussion, missing 7 days of practice in your preseason is like triple. It counts as 3 weeks, you know, because you're putting new stuff in, you're executing that stuff, both defensively and offensively. But the one thing he does do is he showed in that exhibition game, he gets 4 rebounds in 7 minutes. He's active. And sometimes you can live with mistakes, not knowing exactly what to do with a high activity level. And I think when he does get into games for us early, that's what he's going to bring.
When you talk about him, and you talk about some of the other guys, there's a lot of size on this team, specifically with the forwards that you have. From an offensive standpoint, what are you hoping to get out of those guys?
Well, I think it's important, you know, with our length on the offensive end, that we have to do a great job on the offensive glass. We need to turn missed shots into opportunities for us to score. We didn't have that in the past here, where, you know, we were more or less one and done. We weren't a great offensive rebounding team. Some of my best teams, as an assistant or as a head coach, have been not great shooting teams. But we used shots as almost passes off the rim, and we went and got them, you know, and that's playing hard, and that's using your length. I think you'll see the length and the size maybe even more impactful on the defensive end. A lot more deflections, limiting teams to 1 shot per possession, being able to cover up for defensive mistakes with your length, and so forth. But it's a good trait to have as a team, as long as that length can move and stay active, and I think we can.
And do you feel like, you know, through all the practices that you had, do you feel like you're seeing the progress in those areas?
Yeah, oh yeah, we're much improved. You know, again, the challenge of playing connected and playing cohesive is a day-by-day process. And as I always say, just like building a program, it's never in a straight line. You take 2 steps and then back 2 steps. But you just got to stay patient and understand that you are making progress and believe in the process of, if you're doing things on a daily basis the way you need to, then eventually you're going to break through.
Coach, can you talk about the challenge of preparing for a team like Alabama A&M that's got 5 new players and a brand new coach?
It's difficult. We have no film on them from this year, so you're using last year with, as you said, new players, a new system, new coaching staff. So in games like that, you got to really stick to our principles. We're a high prep team. We take great pride in preparation and so forth. So we try to do whatever we can, but we're going to be tested just in terms of, you know, our defensive system, our offensive system, whatever they throw at us. Are we able to respond in the right way? You can't control everything, so your response is the one thing you can control. So we got to be ready to respond in a positive fashion, whatever is thrown our way. They also pose problems very similar to like Tampa, where they're smaller, quicker. Our bigs will be guarding guards, and we have to do a good job of being able to defend, even though they're a little bit out of position and not accustomed to guarding on the perimeter as much. The team, Alabama A&M, has great team speed, so that's going to be a big challenge for us in terms of transition defense and guarding them off the bounce for sure.
Everybody else?
All good? Thanks.